Welcome back to the Brews and Reviews podcast. I'm Brenton.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is our show 24 After 24, where we take a look back at the hit TV series 24. This year, it is 24 years since it first aired. So we're going back through all the episodes. We're still on season 1. But this week, we're looking at 14, 15, and 16 for the episodes. Again, just constant action. It just elevates every week.
It's not stopping.
It's quite exciting.
Yeah, it's good. I keep getting excited to watch the next ones.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How's your week been, Ryan?
Yeah, not too bad. Trying to get over this voice.
I know. So last week it was you with the croaky voice, and I was tip top. And this week we've had to push our recording back by 2 days. We would usually record on a Friday night, and I thought I'd be able to do it. Yeah, now it's Sunday night, and my voice is still not back, but I completely lost it. Last night I was hoping that we'd be able to do it, and I had to message you last minute and say nah.
Yeah, I was all keen to get out of the house, that's for sure.
No matter how many saltwater gargles and lozenges I've been having.
When you told me that, I was like, that's dedication. I wouldn't have done
that. Well, I wanted to record.
I just raw dogged it.
Yeah. No, I'd watched the episodes on Thursday as per normal, so it was still fresh in the mind. So I wanted to record Friday. Didn't happen. Thought, all right, Saturday, we're going to get there.
Yeah, see, I think you told me Thursday that maybe Friday wasn't going to go ahead. So I was like, I'll hold off. And then I didn't watch the episodes till Friday. But now I still can't remember. So.
Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. I watched them Friday.
Oh, you watched them Friday? We watched them together because your notes were popping up.
Yeah. Actually, because I think you started earlier, but you watched all 3. So by the time I started...
I watched 2. Oh. No, I didn't. I watched all 3.
Yeah,
I had to do my notes,
Because, you told me when you were starting to watch them.
Yeah.
And then when I came in later, it seemed like you were pretty much around the same time as me.
I was just ahead.
Yeah.
Because your notes started popping up. And I was like, oh, he's just behind.
Do you peek at them?
Oh, yeah.
I don't read your notes.
I had a look at your first one because I was like, you haven't watched them all? I figured you'd watched them all already.
No. I don't want to get any ideas from you.
Oh, yeah.
And because I like when you come up, because you always come up with things that I don't realise.
Yeah.
You always notice things that I don't notice in the show. So
I did notice something in the last 3, didn't I? I forgot what it was now. I think I would have written it down.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So before we get started on episode 14, what do we do?
We have got our beer.
And this week is the same as last week, where this was chosen by you, Ryan, and I don't know what it is. I saw something you put on socials about what the brand was, but I don't know what kind of beer it is.
Yeah, so it's I think it's South Australian again.
Am I allowed to look now?
Yeah, go for it. So I've got a Pikes Brewing Co. and it's a limited release pineapple Berliner. What is that? A Weisse or something?
That's a German beer.
Yeah. I had so many beers in my hand and I was like, I don't know what to get. I just get stupid shit.
You went to the same place as last time? Yeah. There's too much to choose from. I like the can though. Hey.
Yeah, the cans are good. So their other flavors are like different, same thing, but the one bit of shells are different.
Yeah. Oh,
color.
Okay. Like the little.
And then because it said limited release, I was like, got to go for it.
Why not?
But we are in. So I said South Australia, didn't I? So
yep.
I haven't heard of Seven Hill. Where's Seven Hill? 5453. It must be far out.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we'll do another map. Seven Hill.
Bing.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, still South Australia for me.
All right, let's give it a crack. I needed something to moisten my vocal cords.
Oh, moist.
Another one with good timing.
That was, go for it. I'm going for a sniff test first, I reckon.
Not too funky.
I thought it might be quite pineapple-y on the smell.
It's definitely there. There's a hint of it, but it's not. I thought it was going to be like right up front.
Yeah.
Like right there, but let's give it a go. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
Oh.
It's there. It's fucking, this is where some are sour. Oh.
I don't mind it though. I don't know. So
tasting a bit watered down, isn't it?
I don't know if it's because I am still getting over this cold. My taste buds are a bit muted.
Yeah, that was like me last week. I didn't even have taste buds properly last week.
Yeah, no, this I don't mind it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting the full exposure to the taste like you are.
I mean, I like a bit of sour. That is like it doesn't have like a density to it. It feels like I'm just drinking water with like a slight, like a soda water with a hint of flavouring.
So this is a test. Is that sour to you right now?
A little bit, yeah, like a pineapple.
I don't get any sour, and I think it's because I can't taste it at the moment.
How many salt washes did you do before you got here?
Yeah, exactly. I've just destroyed the... Yeah. How much salt content am I supposed to be putting in this salt water?
I only brought one, by the way.
That's okay.
Brought two. But
there's still some other beers in the fridge from previous weeks.
Yeah, there's only one standard drink, so we
I don't mind it, but it wouldn't be a go-to beer for me. I don't think. Limited release is probably not a bad thing. I'm going to give it like a 5.5.
Yeah, it's a middle range beer for me.
I was going to say 6, but I've just dropped it down just a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm about a 5, 6. It's I'm finding it easy to drink. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't hard to swallow. That's for sure.
I just don't get any sort of beer about it.
Yeah, I don't know what type of a beer that the German whatever it was.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that type of beer is. Probably the worst to review beers.
We probably should have started with the bare basics of beers and got an understanding for each of the different types.
Yeah,
before we started going with the funky.
We'll just go with the beer.
West End next week.
Keen?
Nice cheap week for me. All right, shall we get stuck into the first episode for this week?
Let's
episode 14. So this takes place between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. And if everyone remembers from last week, we finished off with Jack and his family finally reuniting.
Yeah, in the chopper. They left in the chopper.
Getting on the chopper.
So Jack saved him.
Leaving the compound, and with Rick's disappearing, he got onto a bus covered in blood.
Yeah.
The bus wasn't covered in blood. He was covered in blood. My first comment for the scene being in the chopper is, unlike last week, I think Kim is actually there in the chopper.
Oh, yes. Yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because, it was like she was a doll last time. By the looks of it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It looked like a balloon with a wig on it.
I think maybe she was sick that day.
Yeah.
So do you want to start off with Jack's storyline?
Yeah. Cool. Might as well. It starts off with Jack, so.
Yeah. So, as we said, they're leaving the compound. They've gotten away. Gaines is dead.
Yeah.
Jack's killed him. Green and... So, what's her name?
Alberta.
Alberta Green.
Yeah.
And Nina are waiting for them when they land.
Yep.
And the first thing I saw when Terry gets off of the helicopter, grabbing for that stomach.
She's preggers.
Yeah. Well, and then Jack says, honey, did something happen there?
Yeah.
And it's straight to the look between Kim and Terry.
Yeah.
They know, but don't tell Jack.
No. She doesn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
What happened between her and Eli.
So they want to get Kim and Terry off to the hospital. But Jack's got work to do, so he can't go with them. He's got to stay with CTU, but not just for work. He's going to be taken into custody.
Yeah, that's right.
He's going to be... Well, I think they say it nicely in front of Kim and Terry to say he's going to be debriefed, but...
Yeah. Did you see him walk off? He had his arm around Alberta. He was just touching her.
Oh.
He's like, oh, yeah, hey.
Oh, maybe there's been something between them two.
No doubt.
Jack gets around.
Yeah.
And Green has to place him under arrest, and that he's going to be debriefed by CTU first and then handed over to FBI for questioning as well. So
yeah,
he's in the shit. So did you notice as the ambulance was taking Tim Carey, Kim and Terry away, he's glaring at the ambulance? I don't know. He looks like suspicious at it. No. And I was thinking, here we go, classic. Someone's planted an ambulance there. Yeah.
And steal them back again.
There's a dodgy driver and he's going to kidnap
him. I didn't even see that.
Nothing happened. He stared at the ambulance for ages. And he could have just been staring at it because his family is leaving again and whatnot. But it looked like a suspicious stare. Actually, what's going on there?
I didn't even notice that.
So I was waiting and nothing happened.
Jack wants Nina to look after... I was about to say Tim and Carrie there. Yeah. Terry and Kim.
Yes.
And then... She was like, I can't. I'm gonna have to get Green to. And he's like, Nina, please.
Yeah,
just do it.
Paul's rank.
Yeah,
and he treats her like shit, and she's done so much for.
Yeah, she sounds like she's sacrificed so much.
Yeah,
promotions and stuff just to be under Jack.
Yeah. So Nina goes with the girls, and in the meantime,
actually, Green wouldn't let her leave.
Oh, that's right.
And then,
because they go back to CTU first, don't they?
Yeah, and then because she lied, she's like,
I need to go home and rest.
I haven't had a sleep, blah blah blah, and she's like, denied. And then she comes clean. She's like, Jack wants me to keep an eye on Kerry. Oh, fuck. Kim and Terry. And then she says there's irony looking after Jack's family.
Yeah.
Or whatever. She's like, that's irony or something.
Yeah, there's an irony you looking after Jack's wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we covered that in an earlier episode that Green sort of knew that something had happened between
there's a few
Nina
episodes
and Jack.
I think when she turned up to CTU.
In the meantime, Jack's been sent to the interrogation room where he's waiting to be questioned.
So that's where Ryan Chappelle rocks up. Oh, Chappelli.
Yeah.
I think Milo and Tony are chatting. And they're like, what are they going to... Milo says something like, what are they going to do to him? Tony goes, not going to name a street after him, that's for sure.
Great one-liner by Tony.
Classic Tony.
So Milo is back because he wasn't in the last couple of episodes.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, he must... I
think we mentioned it last week that he was gone, so Milo's back. So
yeah.
I think, Tony says... No, Milo says... about Chappelle coming in. Looks like they're bringing in the big guns.
Oh, yeah. That's where when they're talking.
So we say this about everyone who's not in immediate CTU. Where is Chappelle from?
So I think he's just from Division.
Right.
I think he's just... I don't know. They seem to keep getting higher and higher up in Division.
So it's made a little bit more clear in these episodes about obviously Jack is just the director of CTU in the LA branch, but there's branches all around the country, obviously.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like LA is like the center place, and then there's smaller ones. It sounds like
I don't know, because like how close is Division? Seems like Division's just around the corner.
No, everything is around the corner in this show.
Yeah, definitely. Chappelle's from Division, I'm pretty sure, because later on, once Chappelle leaves, they bring back in George Mason.
That's right.
So they obviously come from the same place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jack meets Chappelle, and he's obviously familiar with him. I think when he first walks in, he says, "Oh, Ryan, good to see you," or something like that.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, great name. So they're on first name basis, and they know each other.
Yeah, it's like he was almost relieved, like it was Ryan.
Yeah.
So he must be like pretty good.
But that didn't last long.
No, because what did he go? Yeah, Jack goes to start talking to Chappelle like his mates.
Yeah.
And then Chappelle stops him and just presses record.
Yeah,
and Jack's just looked at the record button or something and just gone, "You fucking serious, mate?"
Oh, is that how it is? Yeah. And
then doesn't say anything and goes straight into his recap of his last 12 hours, 13 hours.
Yeah, and he's open, except he says that he hasn't had any assistance from anyone, and he's only just spoken to Nina and Tony, right at the last minute. So, but the rest of it, he's gone into full detail about. But then Chappelle says, "Well, Jack can't be reinstated, and he's going to be handed over to the Justice Department."
Yes, that's right. So it's basically saying it's out of his hands.
Yeah,
he can't do anything about it.
He broke a bunch of protocols, and even though he had his reasons for doing it, just the fact that he broke those protocols, he's going to go through the process. So Jack loses his cool.
Yeah, and in the meantime, so Nina's gone off with Terry and Kim, and then a fair bit's gone on there in their storyline, but she does ring through while Jack's in the interrogation room, and manages to talk to him.
Yeah, so I mean, he's sort of under arrest, but he's still very much like able to talk to people and do things.
Because it's basically like Chappelle answers like, "Is Jack there? Can I talk to him?" And he's like,
sure.
Yeah, sure. It's like, okay, so he's not like fully under arrest then.
Yeah,
but she rings through and they start to think there's someone else in CTU. Yeah, that could be a mole, molly mole.
They essentially they have Chappelle get Jack's story from him first.
Yeah.
And then Green comes back in afterwards, and then she sort of debriefs Jack about, what happens now.
Did you see just before Green comes in, he eats his first meal?
Oh, he did too.
And
what did he have?
I don't know what he had, but he was fucking scoffing that like he was in a prison.
Yeah.
He was like looking over his shoulder and everything like someone's going to steal my food.
Yeah.
He must have been starving.
Yeah. And so while what's his name? Chappelle was letting Jack talk to Nina when Green comes in and Jack's speaking to her and debriefing with her. He asks if he can speak to his wife and daughter, and she denies.
Yeah, yeah.
What a bitch.
No. She's just in it for the promotion.
In it for the power.
Yeah. And that's when, Jack just tells... So that's the end of them, really.
Yeah.
Like the end of Jack. But he tells her, like, cut the crap. You don't care. And like, let's just get on with it. Interrogate me.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we don't see anything else over that because... Do you want to do Kim and Terry then?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then we'll jump back to Palmer.
So they arrive at... they call it a clinic, but it just looks like a hospital to me.
Yeah, he keeps calling it a clinic.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I swear they said a hospital.
Yeah. No, it looks like they're at a hospital.
Yeah. It's probably the same one Janet died in.
Yeah. So does Terry try to like play down the abdominal pain? And they're like, oh no, we want to do an ultrasound to check. And she's like, no. And eventually she gets convinced, I think, because she's looking at Kim and Kim's trying to be like...
Kim's like, Mum, you got to tell him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so she originally didn't want to tell them about the rape at all.
Yeah.
So they were just going to do an ultrasound just to check like why she's got this abdominal pain.
Yeah.
And I think, the doctor said, did anything happen, blah, blah, blah. And Terry's not going into any detail. No. And it's not until Kim says, no, you need to tell them. And so she does.
But yeah, then Terry doesn't want anyone knowing.
No. I think did she specifically say to the doctor, I don't want my husband to know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like, the doctor's like, you talk to a counsellor and all that. And she's like, no, I don't need to. It's fine. And she's like, I think she said something like, we can... It's
confidential or something like that.
Yeah. Or like, I think she said something about not assuming you'd just let your husband know. But then she was like, no, he doesn't need to know either.
Yeah.
So it's like, silly Terry. Which will just make it harder later on if she ever does have to come clean. Nina's rocked up.
Seems like they've been transferred.
They've already been transferred into a different room.
They were in one room to start with, and then I think it was maybe because she was getting that ultrasound on her abdomen or something like that. They got moved to like a little procedure room.
Yeah.
So Nina rocks up to where they were supposed to be.
Supposed to be, yeah.
And she meets someone there.
Yeah, some FBI agent. They do a badge exchange. They CTU. Oh, FBI.
Yeah. I've got has a badge off with Nina. Badge off. Show me yours, I'll show you mine.
But like the dude's a bit creepy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he do like some like turnaround thing? Yeah. He's like just like, hey,
standing in the corner.
And you just immediately I was like, nah, this dude's dodgy.
Yeah. Yeah. Something about him.
But anyway, so Nina leaves that, finds them, talks to Terry and Kim, like blah blah blah. Tells them Jack's like, yeah, he'll be alright. He's just got to go through debriefing. He's done a fair bit of shit. Yeah. So it might take a while.
He says, yeah, he broke a few laws last night.
Yeah.
But he's doing it to for his family, so they should understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do not.
No, they don't. And then, so then she comes back out of the room and then sees an FBI agent on the phone. And then like just walks straight up to her. Doesn't matter that she's on the phone. She's like, I'm going to talk to her. Flips the badge again. Like, Nina, CTU. And then she sort of works out that she and the other guy that's with her, the only two that are there, and they're like, no, we just got here.
Yeah, I think she said how many agents or something like that. And
yeah, and she's like, it's just us.
Yeah.
She's like, are you sure? She's like, we would know.
Yeah, she did not like that line of questioning.
Yeah. So yeah, then that's when Nina's sort of getting a bit sus. Like,
so she runs back to that room that she was originally in, but that FBI agent is gone.
Yep. And then she rings up and orders, what was it? I think that's where she then calls Jack.
Oh.
So I think, but she doesn't tell Jack about the FBI agent.
Doesn't go into detail.
No, she just says, are you sure? Are we sure there's no one else in CTU that's like blabbing information out?
Yeah, so Nina actually asked Tony as well to send someone over to collect prints.
Yeah, get some like straight out here to get fingerprints. And then, that guy comes out.
Again, like,
really
quick.
Yeah, he's there. And then he's like, no, there's no prints here. And then she's like, no, they can't be. He picked up. He's like, no, there's like no prints here. Yeah. Whoever's done this is a pro. The whole entire thing's wiped down.
Yeah.
And she's like, bum, bum, bum.
But can I just say how quickly that guy got there? Again, like, this episode is an hour.
Because they got there on a helicopter.
Yeah.
I don't know what Nina came in. She obviously came in a car.
Like, literally within minutes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Don't think too literally about it.
Oh, that's right. Nina calls Green to tell her she's taking them to a safe house.
Yes.
Yeah. And then after that, we find out that Terry had a cyst on is it an ovary?
Yeah, I think ovarian cyst.
Yeah.
That's burst.
Yeah. Must have got hit too hard.
The doctor says to her, so this can be from an assault, or it could have burst because of an assault, or it could burst because of a pregnancy.
Yeah. And like Eli swimmers must work pretty quick then.
So yeah, Terry might be pregnant.
But yeah, so Nina actually rushes them out. They're like, we're going.
Yeah.
And then the doctor's like, well, we haven't finished doing all the like scans and tests. And then she's like, we don't have time, we got to go. And then the doctor slips her a little paper bag.
Yeah.
With a pregnancy test in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they escape while the assassin's looking out the window.
Just in time.
The nick of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of assassins with good credentials to be able to get into these places.
And well, they must be getting some help somewhere because like, how do you know they're right there?
True.
Like, yeah. Inside info.
And that's it for them. They're getting rushed out, and that's the end of the episode for Kim, Terry, and Nina.
Yeah.
So
do you want to just
probably Palmer?
I got CTU and Kevin.
Oh yeah.
As well, like Kevin and Drazen and the assassin are there as one. So it's basically just Kevin's obviously escaped.
Yeah.
Because he fucked off, like just randomly. He was like, "No, fuck it, out of here. There's a chopper. I'm not hanging." Because he was meant to like circle around and get up behind the girls and snag the girls while what's his name Gaines dealt with Jack. But yeah, that went balls up. So yeah, he rocks up at this like, is it the same place they shot Kim? I don't know. I mean Nina. I don't know. It's just like looks like another abandoned like oil field type thing.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't even think about that. No, it looks exactly the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So they rock up there. We find out he calls Drazen.
Yes.
And he's like, I could have told you this was going to go shit. I knew it from the start. He's like, I used to work for the DEA.
Yeah.
And all this. So Kevin's
in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was important, but
he does look like a bloke from Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Drazen was like, too bad. No. I don't care. Plan B's already in effect. And then hangs up. Yeah. And Kevin's like, hello? And then, then the assassin that we've seen come on.
The new one.
Yeah. He blows up Kevin's men.
He does.
He just blows up this little building they're all in.
It's interesting that he didn't wait for Kevin to join them in that bit, because all of his men were sort of going into this little like portable building thing. Yeah. And they all go in there, and as Kevin's sort of walking back towards there, he sets off the...
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's not true. Sorry. He spots the assassin. And
that's right, because he gets off the phone, because he pulls his gun out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just like lying on these rocks. Yeah. Like the assassin.
No, these assassins don't get into great positions.
Yeah. He then shoots Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin's out.
Yeah. So Kevin's dead. Bye, Alan.
Yeah. That's what you get for...
There's a bit more on this assassin, but probably won't make sense, because at the end, I got him, he meets up with Elizabeth. Then I've got here, plenty of sex is had.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I think that's the start of season, episode 2. Oh, the next one. Sorry.
Might just quickly go over CT. I've got some stuff for CT. I don't know if you had them in a separate thing.
Yeah, I got a tiny bit.
Yeah, so Green obviously wants to keep Jack's job.
Yes. Yeah.
That's apparent when she's interviewing him and all before that. So she tries to get Tony on side, first of all, by offering him a promotion.
Have you got what I've got written down?
No. What have you got?
No, we'll see. Keep going.
Well, that's all I had for that. I said Tony goes to speak to Chappelle, and Chappelle wants Tony's opinion.
No, so just before that, I've got... So Green talks to Tony and tries to sweet talk him into going against Jack, and says, are you satisfied with being number 3 around here? And I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It was like, poor old Tony. Because that one time when Jack and Nina were out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
And he was all excited.
Yeah.
So I thought that might push him over the line.
But if he's number 3, the rest of the people at CTU must be really shit at their jobs.
Yeah. Well, he does fuck all anyway.
So no, then Tony goes to speak to Chappelle, who wants to get his side of the story.
Yeah.
And wants his opinion on Jack, and he said something like, you're probably the only opinion I'm actually going to believe, or something like that. Yeah,
because you're the one, like, he called in the lockdown and tried to get Jack evicted from his job.
Yeah. So Tony says, I'm not the biggest fan of Jack Bauer, but since midnight last night, I don't disapprove of a single action he's taken.
Yeah. I got you. Tony may be a hero.
That's much more succinct. I like that.
Yeah.
He might be the good guy after all.
Yeah.
Not all heroes wear capes.
No, just got flavor savers. You can be my hero, baby.
Oh no, that's what I've got. I've got Tony's on a redemption arc.
Going up, baby.
Yeah. And then at the end of the CTU bit, one of my favourite parts of the episode is Palmer arrives to CTU.
Oh yeah, that's the end of the episode, isn't it?
Yeah, and wants to see Jack Bauer.
Boom.
He loves to meet people in person. Like
he so does.
Whenever he's got to talk to someone, he's like, I've got to see him in person.
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
Go see
just
them.
like, with what's his name? Ferragamo.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to go there.
Yeah. All right, that's it for CTU from me.
Yeah, that's it for me. We might as well
jump up to Palmer.
Hit up the big boy now.
Yeah. So the first thing we see of him is him and his team are going into damage control after the breakfast.
Oh,
they're all back together and trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And it's funny. David goes up to Sherry. He has this moment with Sherry. He's like, "What's on your mind, Sherry?" I'm like, "What do you mean?"
That's a pretty stupid question.
Yeah. But
then he goes on to explain to her, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That he's like been blackmailed now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I feel like, half of everyone's problems would be okay if everyone just told each other what was going on.
Yeah.
It's like Nina keeping everything to herself, Terry keeping everything to herself.
This whole David Palmer, Ferragamo, Keith thing is pissing me off because for like 4 episodes, it was David was like, "No, I'm going to the cops. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm opening it up."
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "No, no, no." Now it's swapped, and they're all like, "Nah, fuck this. We're going to the cops." And Dave's like, "No, we can't.
Yeah,
we can't do that." And I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
I wonder if it'll flip again.
Yeah. Well, Keith does something, doesn't he? Remember?
Yeah. So Keith in the background while David's telling Sherry about he's being blackmailed and whatnot, and I think he mentions the name Ferragamo.
Oh no, he's talking to Mike.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah, they start talking.
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
Keith just pops out with his big head around the corner. Hey, did I hear you talking about Ferragamo? It's like fucking hell, Keith.
I hate Keith. He's just the worst character. Anyway,
did I send you something the other day? I think I may have sent it to your Instagram.
So I wouldn't have seen it probably.
Yeah, no, you'll fucking laugh when you see that. I'll have to remember that.
All right, I'll look later. So yeah, Keith walks in and hears about Ferragamo. So Palmer tells Keith about his death.
Yeah.
And straight away, Keith is like, that wasn't an accident. He's been murdered.
Everyone can fucking see that. Clear as day.
So, but not only does he figure out that Ferragamo has probably been murdered, but he seems to piece together the whole thing.
He's retelling the story.
Yeah.
Just for us.
I'm like, Keith is not that bright.
Nah.
I don't buy that he's just pieced all that together.
Yeah.
He could give...
and David's trying to tell him to let it go.
Yeah.
Without telling him that he's being blackmailed. Like, why doesn't he just fucking tell his son, like, you're going to be in trouble if you go out.
Yeah.
They've got shit on you. They've planted evidence on you, Keith. But yeah.
So he's pretty cut up because Keith says Ferragamo meant something to me.
He meant something to me.
Yeah.
And he goes on like a little whinge about him.
He says that he wouldn't have made it through without him.
Yeah, I got that written down.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of like Keith and Palmer, and then he goes off and Keith goes off and talks to Sherry.
Yeah.
Like comes back in a few scenes time. And he's getting all worked up.
I've literally got Keith as worked up.
Yeah, so have I. I got Keith worked up.
Yeah.
And then I got Keith wants to go to the police. So he's all like, "No, I'm going to go to the police now." And it's like, far out. And Sherry's like, "You will listen to me."
Yeah.
In that voice she does.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, David interrupts them and they need to leave. Oh, that's when they get the threat. Like, this threat's a serious threat. We got to go. So they were going to go to Denver.
Yeah, they were going to go into state.
Yeah. So they're all packing their bags and shit. And then, and then that's when Mike tells David about Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
So they're in the limo and he's like, "Oh, I got the info on Jack Bauer." And then he says he was in a special forces team in Kosovo.
Yeah.
And only Bauer
team.
survived. Yeah, 6-man team. And that's when he's like, "Oh."
And they actually refer to it as the Drazen mission.
Yeah. So that's
and we'll learn more about it later. We'll come to that. But, Yeah, only Bao survived.
And then now David's thinking Jack's out to kill him because he got all of his men killed.
But they don't go into how Palmer was involved yet.
No.
They just sort of say, he thinks he's coming after me for revenge for all his men.
And then, he's like, fuck it. I want to go meet him.
Yeah.
So that's the end of that.
Yeah.
And,
And then it's Elizabeth comes into the scene. So we actually...
Oh, yes.
So while they're having all these discussions, she leaves the group and goes to meet someone in a hotel room.
Well, just like 2 floors down or something. Yeah. So he's in the hotel room. Yeah. That they're all staying in.
Because we haven't actually seen her in the show before.
It's funny. They make her look so like she's involved.
Yeah.
Like she knows.
Well, I wrote down, who is this dodgy woman on Palmer's team?
Yeah. That's Elizabeth.
Yeah. Now we know it's Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth.
So she meets up with the new shooter.
Yep. Who we'll find out his name coming up soon.
Ad break.
I can't even do it because of my voice.
If you've still lost yours, mine's going to take ages to come back.
Yeah, but I'm asthmatic.
That was it for the episode. I didn't love the Kim and Terry stuff. I thought it was a bit boring, but I did like...
it was a bit of a filler episode.
I think so. We haven't had one of those for a little while.
No, it's bound to happen.
But in this 3, that was definitely the filler.
Yeah.
But this next one, episode 15, I thought was quite good. We were saying earlier that this is quite a weird one because there's only really 2.5 storylines that we've got.
Yeah, it's like only
everyone's together.
2.5 locations, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to get Assassin and Draz and the shit out of the way? Yeah. So, I think it opens with them, to be honest.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I've written it down first, I'm assuming. But I've got here lots of steamy sex with Elizabeth.
Yeah. Again, really threading that line of how much they can show on TV, and they're very careful with placement of arms and things like that.
His knees are in the way of a vagina. And then you could see her stomach, but you couldn't see her boobies or her vagina.
Right.
And she's just standing there like naked. And it's like,
I wonder if there's someone on set that helps to like, no, you got to bring your arms just a little bit further down, and someone's looking at the monitor going,
they'd have to be. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't do it in one take.
Well, no, I thought I wonder whether it's clever editing or they're actually having to like really script it and like move people in certain ways to shield everything.
Yeah, they won't swear.
Again, just
it's like they go on about like all this hardcore sex stuff.
Well, I don't know if it was that full on, but
I mean, the Terry Eli one was a bit.
Oh yeah,
like you didn't see anything, but you could just.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah, you picture it.
So that goes on for a little while. It's always that first opening scene, and it was the same when fake Martin was getting ready.
Oh,
it's like that intro scene that just goes for a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Yep. So then David's assistant tells the new shooter, once they finish, when they're having their post-pillow talk,
they got to go to
she's
Nevada.
giving them way too much information.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, you're so like involved.
But although at that point, does it seem like she's giving it the information sort of like...
Yeah, true.
It's like intel, but more so just...
It's more like, because he's asking the questions.
Yeah, but he's asking them well, like he's doing him out of like, I'm just making conversation.
But like that, at the end of the last episode, when they made her like, go in the lift and there's like a random dude there and he like looked over at her. I'm like, what, she looks us or...
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, something's going on. But yeah, you find out after.
So yeah, I actually, so it must have come across that she wasn't directly involved because I said... she informs the shooter that they need to go to Nevada.
That's right. I've got she immediately calls the shooter.
Yeah.
Tells him that she's not going. Oh, that's right. Because Palmer's gone to...
Yeah, he's changed his mind. Let's go see Jack, so they're not going to evacuate after all.
Yeah.
And then Drazen then meets up with the new shooter.
Yes.
And then they're having breakfast or they're having coffee or something like that. And they're sitting at a cafe, and one of them looks over at a woman in the sort of off to the side and says, she looks like Martina. And the other one says, our sister is dead, Andre, leave it alone.
Yeah.
So Andre is the older of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Alexis is
Alexis. Yeah, Alexa. I got Alexa.
So they're all Drazens.
Yeah.
And we find out what actually happened later on. But that's interesting. So there's not just one Drazen. There's a few of them.
And then Alexis tells Andre, the big Drazen, I give you my word, Palmer will be dead by midnight.
Yeah. So then did you put that in your shot clock?
No, I didn't actually. But then that's the end of the episode. The end of the series. So.
Yeah. All right. So what's next? Do you want to do the big Jack CTU or you want to do Nina, Terry, Kim? Well, not just Jack and CTU. Palmer's there too now.
Yeah, they've met.
Yeah.
Well, not yet.
So first thing is David is yelling at Tony because obviously Tony's trying to not let him in. So David threatens to go over Tony's head to see Jack, and he says there will be consequences.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I find it quite interesting that a senator who's running for president, he's not the president yet, thinks that he has enough power in his position. Maybe he would.
He does. He's a senator.
Yeah, but can they just go into a random, intelligence agency and start telling them what to do?
Yeah, fucking oath.
No.
Yeah. John Howard could do it, I reckon.
Yeah, but he's John Howard.
Yeah.
He was former prime minister.
But yeah, so then Tony rings up Chappelle because, Palmer's like, no, I want to go on team now. And then Chappelle says, I don't want those two together.
Yeah, stall him or something like that.
Yeah, until he knows. He's like, I don't know what's going on or why they want to see each other. He wants to see him so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was a little bit weird, but then I don't think it means anything.
Yeah. In the meantime, I don't know who tells him to, but Milo's figuring out Drazen.
Yes, so he comes back with info on, I think, either Alexa Drazen as the assassin. But that's all I've got written down. So I think he came back with some piece of paper or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I've got Jack still talking to Green. So it must flick to...
And I think Green let slip that they're moving Kim and Terry to the safe house.
That's right.
And then once again, Jack launches from 0 to 100.
Oh, he's like, this conversation's over.
Yeah, he was annoyed that they didn't tell him
lid
that they were getting moved.
Yeah.
He said, this is over. I want to speak to Chappelle now, Alberta.
Yeah. And then that's when Palmer goes over Chappelle's head.
Yeah.
He calls an Alan from the Pentagon.
Another Alan, another reused name.
Yeah. They keep doing this, don't they? It's like, why couldn't they throw a Brenton in there? I
was about to say that.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Give us a Brenton, boys. So, yeah, calls Brenton. And then Chappelle... oh, sorry. We'll call him Brenton. Calls Alan.
From the Pentagon.
Yeah. And then Chappelle comes walking in and says, I can't let this happen, blah, blah, not yet. Blah. And then he gets a phone call.
Yeah.
I think Tony comes in and goes, you got a call? It's Alan from the Pentagon. And then he pretty much just folds. He's like, gets off the phone. He's like, yep, sure. I'll do it. And he says, give him whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. And he's like, yeah. And then
well, not just that. Then David also says that he wants all recording equipment to be shut off while he speaks to Jack.
Yeah, all recording.
Which again,
yeah.
Surely not. Come on.
Yeah. And did you see Chappelle gives him a smart ass comment? And it says something like, thanks for cutting through the red tape for me.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I was trying to get you in, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
And then, Palmer's like,
In the meantime, Jack, I don't know how they come across each other, but Jack is talking to Milo.
Yeah.
And he apologises to him for switching the cards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's apologising to everyone.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so sorry.
Had to do it. My family.
Yeah.
And then at this point is when we finally get the meeting that we've been waiting for. Jack meets Palmer.
Yeah. So I've got Tony. Oh, this is the one that I was talking about. Tony comes into Jack and tells to come and get Jack to say Chappelle wants to meet you in the boardroom. And then and also says Terry and Kim are fine. They're at the safe house. But then when it cuts to the Terry and Kim thing, they're not at the safe house yet.
Oh,
so that's one of those things I picked up, and I was like, But he told him a while ago.
Oh, actually, so it doesn't happen in the right sequence.
No.
I don't think that's happened yet. And that would be a hard thing to keep track of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, they've obviously recorded like, all this CTU shit.
Yeah.
And then they'll record, because there's two separate things. They don't need to be done at the same time.
Oh, and no TV show or movie is ever recorded in...
Yeah, in real time.
No, but like in the proper sequence. It's all about location and availability and things like that. So they could record like the second to last scene of a movie or something first, and it's all chopped and changed.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh.
See, this is what I mean. You pick those things up. I don't.
That was all I picked up though.
There's
nothing else this week.
Try harder next week. Palmer comes in, guns blazing.
Yeah, he's very
Palmer
stern.
Mean.
I got him very stern with Jack.
Yes.
And then I got him brackets here. I know you want me dead.
Yep.
And then Jack's
confused.
Yeah, Jack straight away. You just tell he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, I just spent the last 14 hours trying to save your life.
He says that.
Yeah.
But so Palmer had authorised the operation in Kosovo.
Which Jack didn't know about.
No, he didn't know that it was Palmer.
Yeah. And Palmer didn't know Jack originally was obviously, so they didn't know about each other. I think it was designed
that way, that no one really knew who was involved to keep it as secret as possible. But, Jack, this is news to Jack.
Yeah.
So he didn't know this, and he said I've spent I think he said I nearly died last night, or whenever it was, trying to protect you.
Yeah, and then he also says like they took my family.
Yeah, so he tells him everything essentially.
Yeah, and then doesn't he say somewhere like your people obviously haven't told you anything?
Yeah,
yeah. So which they haven't,
and so Palmer was shook.
Mind you, because they haven't really told anything, because we obviously know that, I suppose CTU thought Jack went off the rails too.
Yeah.
So they didn't really know.
Recently discovered, like in this episode is when they've discovered that.
Yeah, true.
This is all taken David by surprise. I think this is one of those things where he's got himself all worked up in the limo over there, what he's going to say to Jack and all that sort of stuff. And then he gets there and he's like,
Yeah, well, this didn't go as planned. You're not out to kill me.
Yeah. So Palmer was the head of the covert operations.
The Special Defense Appropriations Committee in the Senate.
Yeah. And so they had an opportunity to take out Victor Drazen, which again is another Drazen.
Yeah.
And Palmer just couldn't get it done in time. So he went through someone called Robert Ellis to form a team to get it done off the books.
Yeah. Do you recognise that guy?
What is he? No, I did. What's he from?
He's also from Prison Break.
Oh, no, not from that then.
Yeah, he plays like one of the guards, like the main guard.
I was going to look him up and I completely forgot.
And he's in it for like, I think majority of the thing. And then...
God, you really want us to do Prison Break next, don't you?
Like even at the end, I think he turns like not bad in Prison Break, but he starts off as a cop, like a prison guard, but then he ends up on the run as well later on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't last long in this, so he's obviously like, nah, guys, I've got a better...
Spoiler alert.
I've got a better offer.
Yeah. So then we actually cut to Robert Ellis. So we learn about Robert Ellis, and then straight away Jack's like, well, we need to get in touch with him.
Yeah, they're worried about him.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, if they know about you and me... Because Robert Ellis was the one that...
That was the common link. He's the one that sort of put them together.
Yeah, they call him, and he's like...
He's in New Orleans.
Yeah, in a seedy bar or something.
Playing dice.
And Palmer talks to him and he's like, I'm with Jack. And he's like, the fuck are you two doing together? He's like, I work so hard for you guys not to ever get together.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're worried.
What's that dice game that they're playing?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't take notice.
I've seen it on, you know what I've seen it on? And it's so random because I haven't watched them in years. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I can't even remember.
Not one of the first. Is maybe like I can't. There's so many of them now. Maybe like the second or third one. You're making a mess over there.
Just spilt my beer.
Nice. If you don't like it, you don't have to drink
Clip
it.
that.
I don't mind it, but again, I'm not tasting much right now. They've got like cup over the dice, and I think you've got to.
Are they guessing the numbers or something?
Yeah, or you've got to try bluff as to what you've got or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, that's right, because he's like, I've got 6 sixes or something.
Yeah, he's playing that in New Orleans. Is that Swamplands? New Orleans. Is that like swamp part of
The bayou?
maybe?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not up to date.
Okay, maybe another map. That seems to be something I'm able to edit in.
Bing!
Yeah. So yeah, they speak to Ellis, and then Ellis asks Milo for his login and password because he somehow knows that Milo has gotten into MI5 before.
Yeah.
Or something
I think
like that.
Milo's done a lot of dodgy shit.
Yeah.
Because later on, once Jack's back in sort of power a bit,
Yeah.
Jack's in a restricted power and he can't get into these usual files. Milo's like, fuck's sake, here.
Yeah. Like 2 buttons.
Yeah. Yeah, use this box.
Yeah. But Milo as a computer person he would hate giving Ellis his password.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even know who this Ellis is. No one really knows who he is.
So while this is going on, in the background, you see someone walking into Ellis's bar and he's spooked. He's like, who's this
Yeah,
bloke?
I've got Bob sus about some bloke walking in.
Yeah.
And then also, because I'm naming Bob.
I think Jack and...
They must have said Bob, because that's why I'm just like, Bob.
Yeah.
He says he's going to pull up these files or something. And yeah, he says there's a file's been removed.
Yeah. It was missing. He's like, actually, it looks like it's been purposefully removed. One of the funny things that Palmer says is that he's amazed that it's nothing to do with him running for president or for him being black.
Yeah.
Only for revenge for taking out Victor Drazen. And then Sherry calls David.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's going on about something. And the phone call
She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And then when he gets off the phone, he just doesn't stop.
Yeah, but
I'm like, is that about what's going on with all this stuff?
Yeah.
Or is that his wife just doesn't stop?
Just before that, he's like, I'm trying to work out who's trying to kill me. And I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. David realised today he hasn't been there for Keith. Jack replies with something like, he's like, I'm not a good father or something. And Jack says, being a son, father, or daughter isn't easy. So he's just trying to make him feel like, it's all right. I haven't been there for my kids and stuff either. I left so I could go with Nina.
You've tried your best. Milo then puts together a report for Ellis in record time.
Oh.
Like the amount of detail
Amazing.
that he's got in minutes about everything isn't. Yeah.
We've got 4 suspects.
Now he to me he's the best one at CTU right now.
Milo.
Milo.
Oh yeah, he's doing all the work.
Yeah.
Tony's probably still walking around with his manila folder.
Just looking over it.
Going, I'm going to be fucking number 2 here soon.
Looking over at the size of Milo's manila folder.
Yeah.
Just being like, God damn it.
That's right. So Jack and Palmer sit down and flip through these pages, and they're like, back and forth with people. Like, do you know this person?
Yeah.
And then Palmer goes, Jack, page 4. And then Jack's like, gone through the page, and he's like, oh my God. And then that's when we find out Drazen's wife and daughter died in the explosion.
Yeah. So that's how they took him out. That's how they took Victor Drazen out, was in an explosion.
And he's like, oh, this is an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
They're trying to get them.
And that was the little flag that they posted earlier on about their sister.
Yeah, that's right.
The 2 Drazen brothers were talking. I thought originally that one was like a father or an uncle. Like the older one.
That's what I thought.
No, they're brothers.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be his dad.
So, speaking of, good segue, age.
Yeah.
Have we talked about how old Jack is?
No.
Okay, how old do you think Jack Bauer is? Or how old do you think Kiefer Sutherland was when he recorded season 1? Not recorded when it was released, because obviously they would have recorded like a year earlier or something. So how old do you think Kiefer Sutherland is in season 1?
Well, in this, I mean, he looks like he's about like 40.
I thought like at least 40, like early 40s, maybe mid 40s. 34. He's younger than us.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, he's Jack Bauer. He's gone through a lot.
How insane is that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't know if I just...
Did I read something that Nina was in her 20s?
No way.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, we've got to look that up.
We'll have to see how old she is.
Oh, is that when you were looking up? Because didn't you say Martin and... Not Martin.
Not Tracy.
Who's she married to?
That fucking one dude that Mason, Jorge Mason.
Maybe it was when you were looking that up. I feel like you did maybe say her age.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, I want to look it up though.
I feel like she was really young.
People back then looked so much older than what I feel like we look like now. I don't know if because I feel like I'm still 12.
Yeah. I still act like I'm 12. Just ask my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing a podcast though. Midlife crisis, apparently.
But I can't believe Jack is younger than us in season 1.
I was about to say, how much younger is he? But then I forgot we're fucking 13 or something when this came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I got a brother and he wasn't born yet.
Oh.
Because he was born when I was like 14. I think we're 14 years apart.
So, do you know the year he was born? Was he born in 2002?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And this came out in 2000. That's crazy.
Yeah, May 2000. Yeah. Made me feel old too.
Has he seen 24? Has he gone back?
I don't know. I should tell him.
You should.
Join along.
All right. That was a bit of a tangent. Where do we leave off?
Fuck.
Right. So then we talked about the Drazens and the wife and the daughter of Victor Drazen also being killed.
Yeah. Palmer tells Chappelle to add security to Kim and Tezza.
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah.
And he wants Jack reinstated to his previous position, which is hilarious because he says that in front of Green.
Yeah.
Who is pissed.
Yeah, she fires up.
She's worked so hard.
Then I feel like she's gone now.
I wonder, surely she'll have to come back at some point.
Yeah.
They built her up a fair bit.
Well, they bring in, what's his name?
Mason again. George comes back.
In the next episode.
Yeah, so Alberta's pissed. Chappelle, again, apparently David has all the power in the world, so he relents.
Yeah.
And tells Alberta to shut up, essentially.
Yeah.
Fall in line.
Oh, David tells Jack he's not going to leave. He's like, they want me to leave. And Jack's like, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Secret Service want him to leave the state, but David wants to stay and flush out Drazen.
Flush them out. And then they embrace in a handshake.
He's sorry that he misjudged Jack.
Yeah.
They're now best friends.
yeah. They're definitely going to be
They're trauma
friends.
bonding.
Yeah.
So Jack calls Nina, and they're sending over 2 more teams, but he doesn't want Kim and Terry to know that there's this new threat. Yep. Again, just tell everybody everything. Yeah,
surely, because, they've already been through a fair bit.
Yeah.
It's not like they can really be put into more, shock or whatever it is.
So,
then we go back to...
We haven't got into
the Bob?
The pre-stuff, but Jack speaks to Terry. She was going to tell him about the pregnancy. We shall get to why that comes up.
Oh, because we haven't done Terry and Flena.
But yeah, she decides not to tell him.
Yeah. I've got at the end there. It goes back to Bob.
Yes.
Chucking a Wiz Khalifa in the urinal.
Yeah.
And
he's on the phone to Jack at the time.
Yeah. Got his hand on his phone, his hand on his dick.
Yeah.
And then imagine that, just he dead, gets strangled.
Worst way to go.
With his dick out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not even sex.
It's that wire one as well. That wire strangulation.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where Ellis actually tells Jack that he thinks the file was taken out deliberately and someone is doing it again, which would then point to someone within the agency doing it.
Yeah.
Who've got access.
There's a mole.
But yeah, so Bob is dead. I quite liked his character, and I wondered whether he was going to be in it for a bit, but he was in, and now he's out.
I thought when they were going to go to him, he was going to be like some washed out agent that was.
Yeah.
No, he's in the pub drinking but then whips out the laptop and starts like, we're going to do this and this. Yeah, he's still on it.
All right, on to Nina, Terry, and Kim. So they're on the way. We pick up with them on the way to the safe house. Did you notice?
That's what I've got written here. Did you notice?
What?
I've got here. Did you notice? Before they arrived, Tony already told Jack that they had already arrived. So
right. No, did you notice that the guard only says hi to Kim and not to Terry?
Oh, no. Nah. Fucking hell. You probably got eyes for Kim.
I know. She's got to watch out for those guards.
She's in Scrubs as well at the moment.
Oh, because they get changed at the house. That's right. So Nina says it's not exactly like home, but it's relatively comfortable. And I'm like, man, that house looks great.
Yeah, did it have a pool and everything?
Yeah. It's huge, nice big kitchen. I'm like, what is she on about?
Yeah.
Does she know we're in a housing crisis right now?
Yeah, fucking hell. So she goes straight to the bathroom, Tezza, and then whips out the piss stick.
So when I was recording my notes, she's taken the test, and I've written, Terry takes the test, comes back negative. And then clearly, no, actually it was positive. Had to go back and change my note. In the very next scene.
I've got in capitals, she's bloody knocked up. So I was, yeah.
So you knew what to look for on the pregnancy. I was expecting a plus. I don't know why.
No, isn't it 2 lines?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I've done so many COVID tests and still don't know how to do them. I've never been pregnant before though, so
I've never had COVID before. So
is that right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Never had it. Well, I mean, I could have.
Yeah. You've stopped taking your rats.
Yeah.
So then the very next scene, like Terry, terrible job at hiding your pregnancy test.
Oh, yeah.
Kim picks it up.
That's
next scene.
Mum, have you got any toothpaste?
Yeah.
That's what she goes, yeah, it's just there. And then, it's like fucking finds it. And then sounds like Terry's already, Kim's done one before. She's like, bang, that says you're preggers.
So I've got Kim spots the test. Kim is an idiot and thought it was Eli.
Yeah, I've got here, Kim doesn't understand how it happened so quick.
Oh, man. And then Kim is an absolute, not just an idiot, she's an absolute baby. She throws a massive tantrum about being annoyed that she wasn't told that they were trying for a baby.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. Like even I thought about it. It was like, my mum and I got a brother that's 14. He's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that shit.
Yeah, she storms out of the room.
Yeah.
And saying, I can't believe you didn't tell me that you were trying for a baby.
She's supposed to be like 12 or 18 in this show. Because I can't tell.
Kim says, when are you going to tell Dad? And then Terry's like, right now.
Yeah.
And gets on the phone. I'm like, are you joking?
Yeah.
Just can you wait? He's being... I guess she doesn't know he's being detained as such, but...
Yeah, she thinks he's still in power.
There's a lot going on. And she's all like happy and excited and she wants to tell... I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, I got here next. Kim and Terry finally eating.
Ah.
So yeah, after their little tantrum, they were sitting down at the table next to each other eating.
Nice.
And that's where Kim says she's sorry about before. That's when they go on to call Jack.
Right.
Because they apologise.
And missed the bit where the door gets slammed in her face. Well, not really. That's another slow close, I feel.
Yeah.
So then Nina wants to start doing the debrief with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
To learn what happened from their point of view. They want to do it separately. So they start with Terry.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Kim palms a phone.
Like, whose phone is it? It must be Nina's?
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah. Surely she's always got that on it. I don't know.
But she just happened to have... did we see Rick give the number?
So I don't recall that. Like,
she's got a piece of paper.
Yeah, with a number on it.
And it's a home... Yeah. It's a landline.
Yeah.
Again, just takes you back, doesn't it? Yeah. So takes the phone to the room and calls Rick. And again, I've got just what an idiot. What is she doing?
Yeah.
And Rick says, don't tell anyone about him. Does she say she's going to have to or something like that? And she'll explain that he helped and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
she was like, oh, no, I'll say that, you helped me and stuff. And Rick's like, I'm not like you, Kim. I didn't come from a good family.
Yeah.
And all this shit.
And hangs up on her.
Yeah. And then, so Nina and Terry start their debrief. And Nina asks about Rick to Terry. But then, nothing really happens.
No.
She's just like, but I think, does she say something like, oh, no, that's later on because after she starts interrogating Kim. She's like, I think she's in love with him.
Terry...
Is this where we find out about Jack?
Yeah, Terry asked Nina if Jack ever talked about Terry while they were separated.
Yeah.
It's a weird question to ask someone.
Well, because she brought up that she spoke about Kim. He speaks about Kim, and then she's like, did he ever speak about me?
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, not really.
So Terry knows that Nina and Jack were together, which was super awkward. And
that's where she finds out. And then says to Nina, like, were you the one sleeping with Jack when we had our break?
Yeah.
And then Nina,
Jack had told her that he had been with someone.
Yeah.
He just didn't say who.
And I've got it. Nina has a, oh shit, look on her face.
Yeah. Busted.
Then I've got it. How weird they look alike. How, like, they look so similar.
Yeah.
I was like, Jack has a type.
So Terry asked Nina if they're still sleeping together.
Yeah.
Which she vehemently denies.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
Oh, that's right. Then I think after that, Terry needs a break.
Yeah, that's right. She breaks down and it's like, no, I need a fucking break.
So then it's Kimmy's turn.
Yeah.
And this is where she's sort of defending Rick and really downplaying his involvement.
She's really sticking up for Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just hung up on you.
Yeah.
Like, get over it.
Yeah.
And then we cut to a bit of a weird scene of Terry in the bedroom by herself, and I think it's all starting to hit her. And did you notice the music?
No.
It's like super creepy, almost like horror music on when you're about to get a jump scare.
Oh,
that
really
dissonant, those strange
I didn't
sounds.
pick up on it.
And it sort of like makes me think Terry's spiraling.
Yeah.
Like she's starting to, it's all becoming too much.
I reckon I've missed out. Is there much more to go?
That's the last.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've got, Jack talks to Terry.
Oh, that's that. Yeah.
And then
she's going to tell him.
And then Terry doesn't tell Jack about the baby.
Yeah.
So they're
It's
both.
not the right time. Yeah, I like that. That for me, just the David and Jack getting together was like really exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I was stoked that they got to see each other.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, finally.
And like they became best buds.
Oh, yeah.
I want them to have like a little spy duo thing going on.
Oh, they probably will.
All right, that's it for that episode. So next one is episode 16 from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Where are we starting with this one?
There's a lot of shit happening with Kim and Terry because of that ending.
Yeah.
Might leave them till last. So we'll just start with Jack, I guess.
Sure.
So I've got here, Jack's really trying to talk to Bob. Yeah, that's it. So he's like, Bob.
For
And
ages.
yeah, like just fucking.
That's what I mean, that first...
Yeah, it's the
part
first scene
of it,
again.
yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously...
But not just that, he's like, anybody, somebody, somebody there.
It's like, think someone can hear him.
I actually didn't think that he was going to pick up the assassin was going to pick up the phone and talk, but he doesn't.
Well, he walks past it.
Yeah.
And then the phone's still sitting there. And then he comes back. And then he obviously he hangs it up. Well, he must turn it off because Jack immediately tries to ring back. And it's like, do.
Yeah.
So Jack's now sus. And he gets New Orleans CTU to go over and try and find him.
Yep.
And then Milo comes barging in. And he's like, I've got info. And he's like, hang on. Like, I think Jack was on the phone or something. Like, this is important. And Milo's like, I've got fucking information. And he shows him Alexis Drazen's photo.
Yes.
Or, no, it must be him arriving or something. I can't remember. But
I think it shows them all three.
yeah.
There's 3 of them there.
Yeah, that's right. And then Jorge walks in.
Yeah.
George. He then walks in straight after.
Yeah.
To take over CTU.
As Jack's having a costume change. He's getting changed again.
Is he?
Yeah. So he's obviously got a bit of a wardrobe at CTU because he's been changed there before, hasn't he?
Yeah, and his little locker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like an actual locker, like one you'd find at a school.
So one little detail, not that it's important, but when Jack's on the phone to New Orleans CTU, he says, you've got a floating NSA agent. I think something's happened to him. So that's Bob Ellis is a floating NSA agent.
Does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. It's interesting that they do like speak about the various branches.
Yeah.
So we've had NSA, we've had FBI, CTU. I think we've had...
Or the Secret Service.
Secret Service.
The Division.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Division is actually a thing. That just sounds made up.
Well, yeah, I don't know what that means. Maybe we should look up what division actually...
That'll just be stupid because Google will be like, well, this division
Not
is...
just division.
Yeah.
Like, what role do they play in 24?
Yeah.
Surely ChatGTP can do some digging for us.
Yeah.
In the TV show 24, when characters refer to division, they are usually talking about a higher level, off-screen branch of the counter-terrorist unit at CTU. Basically, CTU's regional or national command authority.
So George Mason takes over from Alberta, as you said.
Yeah, I got Alberta's gone.
Yeah. Surely she's going to come back. She's a strong character. So Jack wants to, now his plan is to use Elizabeth.
So when we get to the Palmer section, we find out that Elizabeth didn't actually know anything.
Yep.
And she's seen a photo of him up on the wall saying, like, this is one of the assassins, and she's freaking out. So she agrees to come into CTU.
Yep.
And spill her guts and wants to help. But yeah, Jack wants to use her as bait.
Yes.
Because George was like, oh, cool. We can, like, you know, set up a sting and just arrest him. But Jack was like, no. I want to use her as bait and get more information out, not just arrest him now.
And this is the point where Jack's then trying to...
Oh, he doesn't have his full access?
Yeah, get something on his terminal.
Yeah. And
it's locked. He punches the keyboard.
Yeah, he's having a meltdown. He's having another one.
Milo comes in, saves the day.
Yeah, doesn't Milo, like, give him, like, you know, a little talk up?
Yeah.
Something like...
Peps him up a little bit.
Yeah, like, oh, you're doing a good job. Like,
yeah, I like Milo. He better not be another bloody...
probably is a mole.
Double agent. But I think, does he divulge to Milo that he thinks... That's right, he wants Milo to start...
That's right,
tracking
he's
inbound
asked,
and outbound stuff.
He's asked if he's noticed anyone accessing files that they shouldn't be. And then he's like, well, no. Why do I know? Why would
I haven't been looking.
Yeah.
I just don't... I've been doing a lot of shit. Did you see that dossier I had on the Drazens?
Got that in 3.45 seconds. And then anyway, he tells him, he's like, we'll start looking into it.
Yeah.
So I reckon in the next few episodes we might start to see that there's something going on.
Yeah, this one's a little bit tricky because, like you said, there's a fair bit that happens with the Palmer story.
Yeah.
Before we find out about Elizabeth. But Elizabeth eventually does come to CTU.
Yeah.
On a very fast helicopter. Like, my God.
Yeah.
I know that they said they were putting her in a helicopter to get there, but that was, again, record top. One, it's available.
Secret Service helicopter.
And it just, yeah.
Twin rotors.
Crazy. Drazen had, when he was trying to get with her, had told her that he had a importing company or something like that.
Yeah.
And that she met him a month ago in DC. So this is obviously, I mean, we know this has been a plan in the works for a long time, but the fact that he was here a month ago because he only just arrived back into the country recently.
They showed him that footage in there.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was coming into the country, not just coming into the state.
Yeah. I mean, LA's a lot of the place where you're flying most of the time.
But yeah, so he was here a month ago in DC and sort of hooked up with her then and started, you know, getting that ready to go. Yeah, and gave her like some $10,000 like bracelet. Yeah. Yeah. What'd she say? Something like, this bracelet's real, unlike him. Yeah. Yeah. So but then, did you notice that when, I can't remember what he says to her, but Mason is super judgmental of her. And
really?
She has to like defend herself and she's like, oh, when you're on the trial.
Oh, yeah, because that's right. She's going on like, you know, we were doing stuff for like months all together and it got like, you know, it gets lonely. Yeah. And we were at a bar and. Yeah. I can't remember what Mason says to her. I'm like, oh, chill out. She's a grown woman. Yeah. So Mason seems really eager to want to shut down the whole Elizabeth as bait plan. And was trying to give her an easy out. Maybe he's like, I don't know, but Jack, I don't think he is, but Jack was really wanting this plan to go ahead. But yeah, Mason was sort of like, oh, if it's too hard, then you don't have to or whatever. Yeah. But she wants to. Who did you think was the what's it called? Mike. You think Mike's... Oh, I think Mike for sure. Yeah. I just remembered that then. And I reckon I've got a note in here about that as well. Oh, have you? Yeah. Ooh. Look forward to it. So Milo then finds out that Ellis's body has been found. Yeah, Milo informs Bob's dead. Yeah, no good. So he got paid for one episode and one and a bit. Yeah. Yeah. And at this point, Nina is back at CTU. And Jack is not happy. She's like, what are you doing back here? And she's like, fine, Jack. Someone's looking after them. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And that's it for Jackie Boy. Yeah. The palm train. Oh, what? I've got something on Drazen. Oh, yeah. I've got one line. Elizabeth tells Drazen they won't be... it's just Elizabeth tells... This is before she finds out. Yeah. So she tells Drazen that they're not leaving now. Yep. And I got... Other assassin is killing off everyone. All right, you want to do Palmer. Terry and Kim or Palmer? Palmer, because Terry and Kim end in a... Yeah. Like a... Yeah, it's a good one, bit actually. Of a... Yeah, there's a
going back, the Secret Service briefed David and the team on the suspected shooters, and that's when Elizabeth sees the photo.
Yeah,
Sees her
Erin's
boyfriend.
popping up the...
She rushes out, and I was thinking, is she going to rush out and go and tell him and choose him? But no, she rushes out because she
wants to vomit.
Is going to be sick.
Yeah. And the one person to come and comfort her is Palmer.
I know.
Like, maybe she does, like, say she's pretty high up.
Yeah.
So she's part of the elite team or whatever.
Yep.
So I was like, maybe, you know, he does talk to her every day.
Yeah. But to her benefit, she tells the truth to David straight away.
Yeah.
I thought it could have gone either way. David calls Jack to let him know about Elizabeth and what's gone on, and that the security's been compromised and whatnot. And that's when Jack organises that faster than light helicopter.
Yeah.
To get her into CTU. And then Jack tells David that they have to assume that Ellis is dead at this point because they don't yet know.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's like, "Have you heard from him?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I haven't heard from him for 20 minutes."
So now this is the thing that I wrote down about Mike is so David talks to Mike and he tells him about Alexis and Elizabeth, and I've got that this will be the test because he tells them the plan essentially.
Yeah.
And I've got that this will be the test to see if Mike is dodgy. So if Alexis finds out and he knows the plan and knows that Elizabeth is coming in as bait. So if he becomes aware, then I'm like, David is there'll be other people that know as well, but
yeah,
I think
definitely
Mike
could be Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike's a strong contender.
So plant a little flag there. We'll see what happens in the next episode.
Yeah.
Because we don't get to that bit in this episode. So yeah, this is where David has his D&M with Keith.
Oh yeah. Football head.
Man, I do not like Keith.
You laugh at that. I think this meme that I sent you.
Something about a bowling ball. And he wants to change. David is choosing now to change.
Yeah.
And promises that he'll always be there from now on.
Yeah, I found it funny because he's like, I'll always be there, like, and all this. And then basically Keith's like happy. He's
stoked.
They do some like, they have a loving handshake.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, Dad.
Yeah.
And then straight away, Keith asks about Ferragamo, and David tells him, not yet. Like basically just goes back on everything he's just said.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's been a security breach in our staff, but David can't tell Keith.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll tell you everything, but like, I can't tell you.
I've got Keith is stoked, that didn't last long. And then the next thing is Keith is out. Is he outside on the phone? He's on the phone to someone. And
he's on the phone to Carl.
He's on the phone to Carl.
Yeah.
He's having a big shouting match with him on the phone.
Yeah. And then Keith's sister walks in.
I was going to say...
I don't even know what her name is.
Nicole.
Oh, Nicole.
So there's your little idea gone, unfortunately. So she didn't get picked up by the Drazens at the airport. She's back out of nowhere. I haven't seen her since God knows when.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like,
it's
maybe
like she was off for something.
She was probably doing like her own gig on a different show. I don't think she was on Lost or Prison Break.
Nicole and Keith start off by sort of having an argument, and she drops on him, last time you tried to protect me, someone died. Oh,
fuck yeah, no. Straight to the fields.
So Keith wants Nicole to help him to get past the Secret Service because he wants to get out and meet Carl.
I've got it. Keith's looking super sus because he's like, she walks up to the Secret Service and she's like, I've been hearing a beeping sound on like the phone call. I'm wondering if my dad's been like recorded. And he's like, oh, we'll go take a look at this. And then Keith's walking out with like a cup of tea and he's just like staring at everyone. I was like, just walk normally, mate. Like, fucking hell.
You can't with that heavy bowling ball.
Yeah. And then then he goes into like a little TV room or something.
Yeah.
Which happens to be an exit as well.
Yeah, sits down.
Sits
and then
down,
gets back up.
then shuts the door.
Yeah.
And then he somehow escapes. I think I've got it. I don't think I'd trust the Secret Service to look after a toddler. But yeah, so anyway, Keith meets Carl now.
Yes.
So, and then they're having a big argument about Ferragamo.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I got Keith wants justice. So he's like, you fucking killed him, blah, blah, blah. And then...
but he's getting real ballsy as well. Like he's...
Yeah, I've got this. Carl tries to blackmail Keith.
Yeah.
Then I've got, you're getting nervous. I can smell it. That's what Keith said to Carl.
Weird line.
Yeah. But and then Carl tells Keith about the evidence that's been planted on him.
Yeah.
Like at the scene. He's like, they would have missed it the first time, but if they have to go back, they'll see it.
Yeah, bad move, Carl.
Yeah, so that's where, like, this is what Keith should have been told straight away.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have gone chasing this. But then again, in the end, it might work out. Because at the end of that conversation, you know, Carl's like, I'm fucking out of here. And then Keith pulls out. I've got here. I've got Keith is sneaky, ends up recording the conversation in what looks like the recorder from Home Alone. Do you remember the one in like Home Alone 2? Just like this huge box.
Yeah, with a little tape in there.
Yeah. I'm like, it just looks like that.
Not very discreet.
Yeah, and he whips it out of his pocket.
Yeah.
And it's like clear as day.
Yeah,
it's not muffled or anything.
Actually, so Keith's recorded the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Like, actually, touche, Keith. You've done something clever.
So he does have a brain in that big head of his.
Should be a massive one. All right, that's it for them. So last one for this episode. Terry, Kim, Nina.
I've got here, starting off, plenty of security around the safe house.
Everywhere. There's people mowing lawns. There's someone in a van.
Yeah, the classic bloke mowing the lawns move. Yeah. Like, how long's that guy going to fucking mow the lawns for? And then the dude's fixing...
my wife 4 hours, apparently.
Really?
No. How long she thinks I take.
Yeah, which I probably would drag it out to that. No?
Hour. Tops.
You electric lawnmower?
No.
Yeah, no, me either.
That's a good thing, though.
I'm not sponsored by
All I
Andrew.
hear about them is that they're not weighty enough to get
down.
If you've got a decent amount of thatch in your lawn like mine does at the moment.
Put a fucking bag of cement on it.
Right.
It's easy.
Fixed.
Yeah, no.
All right, so bloke mowing the lawn, someone in a van. Is someone like fixing power lines?
Yeah, there's always the classic bloke fixing power lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Terry gets a call from Jack. He knows something's wrong. She's a bit cold on the phone.
Yeah.
And he asks her.
That's right. And then Terry gets fooled, like, feels like she's ready to go up for a divorce. Yeah. Again, and you might not pick up on again, same eerie music again, that horror movie music. I think that's what triggered me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is fucking weird music for this. Yeah. And then gives him the whole, like, no, we need to talk, but not right now.
Mm.
Like, you know, if you cop that, you're just gonna be worried, like, for the rest of the day. Yeah, like, fuck that, I don't want to go home.
We've got Nina trying to get Kim to tell her where Rick is. Because, obviously Kim's being debriefed again. Yeah, I've got Kim's still being asked about Rick. Yeah. Yeah. Clearly Nina knows something. Yeah, and Kim's still saying that Rick's a good person. Yeah. So Nina actually explains Stockholm Syndrome to Kim. This is where she does it. Yeah. And then Terry just randomly comes in and goes, all right, I'm ready. Yeah. And she's not ready. Yeah. She's not in the right frame of mind for this. I said Terry seems okay about the Nina Jack thing now. Well, she explicitly tells her that she's not going to hold it against her. Yeah. That's when Nina starts talking about Kim to Terry about saying, I think she's got feelings for Rick. Yeah. Terry doesn't take that too well. Terry says, she's my daughter. I think I would know her better than you. Yeah. I was like, no, you don't. That's right. Now, Kim's still got this phone. Yes. So, but Nina's been on the phone since, hasn't she? She's obviously not looking at her recently dialed. Yeah. So she's got the phone again. She calls Rick. Mm. And she's, that's right. Kim's really getting pushed hard. That's what she's like. They're really pushing hard on you, Rick. Yeah. It's like, well, that's the only thing that they've got to talk to you about. They're talking and Rick just hangs up the phone because what looks like his girlfriend or something walks in. Yep. My immediate thoughts, I was like, does she realise he's been shot? And like, you know, he's got black eye and stuff. Like, she's just cool about it. Yeah. But I mean, they seem a bit like Darrow, don't they? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Speaking of music, it's really interesting that for a lot of Rick's scenes, for some reason they use actual songs. So the rest of the show is like all, ambient music. But for all his scenes, they use actual music. So again, they've got real music playing. Is it all of his band? He's probably in a band. Maybe. He's like, use my music. Nah, something different. Oh, that reminds me. Kim puts on the loud music again. Yeah. So, and that was something I picked up is I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be soundtrack or if it was supposed to be music that she's listening to, because
No, I think she
the
pushed the
same song
button.
that she's listening to is what's playing at Rick's house as well.
Ah.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I
now I'm
think there's
confused.
footage of her putting it on.
there
Pushing
is.
play.
Yeah, she puts music on in that
So
bedroom.
it must be radio.
Oh, it could be radio.
Because like where she's getting the music from? It's 2001.
It's not an
It's like,
MP3.
yeah.
Oh, actually, I remember I had an iPod Classic in.
Well,
like,
the iPhone didn't come out till 2007.
yeah, no, but iPods. When were they?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a record player anyway, but which wouldn't have been. No one was listening to records then. It didn't have its revival then.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right. Maybe it was radio. That's why it's with the same music at each place.
Mm.
But yeah, she puts on the. She
Yeah,
loves
it's
to play the loud
pumping it.
music when she's feeling down.
Yeah, and I've got Kim really wants Rick to come clean.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Rick's girlfriend walks in.
Mm.
And then it shoots back to Terry and Nina.
Yep.
And I've got Terry getting shitty again with Nina.
Yeah, isn't it? It's like, I think you might
Yeah.
need a break. I've got Terry is a massive bitch to Nina.
I've got it. Things tend to get complicated when you screw your boss.
Yeah. She says, don't you have a job to do things? Yeah.
And then that's when Nina's like, well, this isn't going to fucking work. So
Nah.
fucking Mike over there can take over, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And so she heads back to CTU.
Yeah, so that's right. So during this time, one of the Drazens finds Kim and Terry's location.
Oh, that's right.
The one
Because
sitting
when
in the
they left
van.
the hospital,
Mm,
old mate was on the phone. He's like, yeah, they're leaving now.
that's right.
So probably the two blokes with the fucking video camera.
They're back again.
Yeah, they're following him.
So yeah, he's killed a couple of the guards. They're not very good.
Yeah.
One
no.
guy going around taking them all out. I mean, I know they're like international best of the best, but
Well, are they assassins? Oh, actually,
yeah, because it's not the actual Drazens. It's
Alexis is actually part of. I think they find out he's a part of some like special forces or something.
is he? I didn't get
Yeah,
that.
I think he was
Ah.
in maybe like Kosovo or something.
So CTU are then showing Kim and Terry photo. Like, I didn't get his
Oh.
name.
Yeah, I just called him Mike or
Yeah.
Dave or something. Yeah,
So
Alan.
he's showing photos of suspected Gaines accomplices.
that's right. And Eli's shot comes up.
Yeah, Terry freezes.
Yeah, she goes into a full freeze state, doesn't
This
she?
is what I mean. Like the end of last episode and this episode is just her spiraling downward.
Yeah, you can tell it really starting to hit home.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's only just happened.
That's right. Yeah.
So to
I
us,
keep
it's like,
forgetting.
it's been fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But to her, it's technically only been like a couple of hours.
Yeah. That would actually be hard to write for. To like do 24 episodes,
Yeah.
an hour each, and trying to just keep them like with the story has to progress at that slow pace.
Yeah, that's it.
So while this is all going on, the Drazen, I don't know who, one of the
Yeah,
Drazen
he's just
guys makes it
killing off
into the
people.
house. He shoots an agent with a fucking spike gun.
Yeah, I've got the same thing. I was like,
In the neck.
assassin shoots one in the neck with some weird dart.
Yeah, it's not it's massive. It's
Yeah,
like
it's-
this big.
It was like
You know what it looks like? It looks like a sinker.
like a fishing
Yeah.
lure thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
So
Oh, here we go. This is where we were talking earlier. Were we talking on air or off air? And I was saying there's a Ron as well. Yeah, I got
okay.
it. Bloke interviewing, also suspicious because the lawnmower is off and Ron is missing. So Ron's the good dude that just got popped in the neck.
Right.
There you go. I
There
knew there was
you
a
go.
Ron.
He wasn't
There's a
in it for
Ryan
long.
and a Ron.
Yeah. So while this is going on, I've got Terry continues to spiral. And again with the music, and I'm waiting for like a jump scare, like the way that it's going on.
Yeah.
So Agent Paulson is the one that's left over there.
Good.
Yeah.
Call. Yeah.
There
Didn't
you
even
go.
get a name.
He knows something is up. No one's answering comms. Attempts to clear the women.
Yeah, that's right. He locks him in a room.
Yeah.
He's like, lock the door. Like, that's going to fucking stop anyone.
Yeah. So he searches the house, finds one of them.
They like get him in a weird way.
Mm.
Like, I didn't realize there's 2 of them.
No, I've got here. There's actually 2 of them.
Yeah, so he's like, trying to clear rooms.
Mm.
And then the one must just drop a bullet or something on the floor. And then he comes out and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
he's like, drop your gun. And then the other dude comes up behind him and stabs him.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I thought that was...
He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, so I've got, there's 2 of them and they stab him and he's dead. I've got Kim and Terry somehow find a car and get
Was
away.
they somehow in the garage?
Yeah.
I didn't think they got locked in the garage.
No, I didn't. I
thought it was a bedroom.
I think they got locked in the bedroom and then made their way through. Like, just didn't listen to the agent, made their way through. And then I've got, actually, Paulson is still alive because he manages to kill one of the
he nails
one of the
them.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you notice the gunshots? It was pretty cool. I thought that was cool. Like, the assassin had it silenced.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, and that it was like full on, like,
Yeah.
and the other one was like, bang, fucking bang. And there's like a ute driving down the road. And again, neighbours. I was just like,
Yeah, no one's
around. No one's looking.
Yeah.
They're all out voting.
So, we have a date now. We got some voting coming up.
Have we?
Yeah. I think it's May 3rd or something like that.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking in the fucking show.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Real life.
Do you know what? I didn't even know.
There you go.
So, yeah, I didn't find out till today. We're driving home. Like, we went down to Port Adelaide today. And then I said to my wife, I was like, all these fucking like cars with like, you know, Albo's got to go and all this.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, God, I didn't even think there's an election coming up.
She would love that.
My wife actually looked at me. She's like, yeah,
You're an idiot.
Are you serious? I was like, no. And I kept going on with it because I didn't realise. I was like, no, yeah, there must be. And she's like, yes, you idiot. She's like, there is, like May 3rd or something. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you fucking living under a rock? Anyway. And
then I've got, I had no idea that Nina had actually left.
Oh.
I didn't actually see her leave. So I've got, where did Nina go?
Nina is back with Jack.
Obviously after that confrontation.
Maybe she's part of it.
Confrontation. After that argument with Terry, she actually left the building, not just got Paulson to step in, but I've got I must have missed her leaving the safe house. So then, yeah, Terry and Kim are getting away in the car.
Yeah, I got beginning of a car chase.
Yeah, and again, Terry was doing skids. They love to, and not only that.
I got you. Terry is a crazy driver.
Yeah, but they also the amount of dirt roads that they've been driving on in this show is crazy as well.
Like,
for
fucking
LA,
hell, like, yeah.
They must be on the outskirts. Like, they mustn't be in the city.
Shit spot for CTU, if you ask me.
Yeah. So, yeah, so many dirt roads in LA.
But then Terry manages to lose this bloke.
Yeah.
I was like,
that was a good job. Well, they had a decent lead, to be honest.
Does a good job till she fucking parks the car.
Yeah.
This shit me. Again, something else that shits me. She parks this car like... The car came to like a sliding halt. She was going that fast.
Yeah.
But it's on the edge of a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Like, full on, like... No one was even like, whoa, shit, that was close. She was just like, wait here, Kim. I want to go up and see if we've lost him. And that, again, was... I thought that was a shit move.
Worst decision ever.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Oh, the car goes over.
Yeah.
Like...
Falls down the hillside.
Yeah. Fully explodes.
The hill gives away.
Yeah, so the front tire's gone. So the car slides down the hill and then
Kim's
explodes.
Inside.
Yeah, that's what we see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I was like, fuck, Kim's dead.
But yeah, proper explosion. Good explosion, actually.
Yeah.
And then Terry's so distraught, I think
She just collapses.
This paired with all her downward spiral, she passes out.
Yeah. She just collapses and fucking blacks out.
Yeah.
And then, then a few moments later, she wakes up.
Yeah.
And
she's all dazed.
She doesn't realise, like, she just starts walking off.
Yeah. Well, I've got here, I'm like, what the hell? She's not gone to check on Kim? Like, she's just assumed that she's dead?
I'm sitting there going, what are you doing?
Yeah. And then Drazen's man, who was he drove past, he actually turns back around and I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to...
Yeah, because it shows him stopping and turning around and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, he's going to pick her up.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. Who picks her up?
Oh, yes, that chick from NCIS.
Yeah, Abby.
Abby, yeah.
Abby from NCIS.
The goth one. I got the goth chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because when I first saw it, I was like...
Oh, it took me a minute. And I was like,
because she's
NCIS.
She's like young and blonde in this.
I was pretty proud. I didn't even have to look it up on IMDb
to
remember a character name or anything like that.
Yeah.
And NCIS was one of those occasional watches whenever
it was
on.
It came on after a show or something. And you're like, oh, fuck, I'll just keep watching it. Yeah. With Ducky.
So she gets picked up by Abby.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Terry's got amnesia.
Yeah.
as you said, Kim has survived. So she must have jumped out of the car.
I was a bit on the edge of my seat because I'm like, hurry the fuck up. I was like, get in this car. Because I'm like, he's going to come back.
He's going to kill Abby.
Yeah. Don't kill Abby. Yeah. And then she's like, I don't remember my name. And I'm like, here we fucking go.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of that plot twist.
Yeah. And then obviously I just broke it before, but then we goes back to Kim and we find out she's alive and barely like.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did she get thrown from the car?
Jumped out in time, like managed to get out the door.
Yeah. They didn't leave that cliffhanger. I thought they might have left that.
Like her being dead?
Yeah.
I think that would have been clever, yeah. And then start the next episode with her like walking up trying to find her mum.
But I got a feeling she's going to get picked up.
Oh, by Drazen's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably.
Like, how did he not hear this explosion of a car? That would have been a pretty big explosion.
Did nobody hear this?
Yeah. True. That's like our last episode at the end. You know, when they go into the helicopter and Rick's getting on a bus. There's like fucking 10 people lined up.
Yeah.
And I was like, did nobody hear the gunshots or the explosions going on?
Nah. Or him being absolutely covered in blood and doing a really bad job at hiding it.
Standard.
So, yeah, fine, Kim's alive, but Terry with the amnesia, not a fan of that.
Yeah, that was just, I don't know. It was weird.
It's like an easy device. It's just overused. Anyway, cool to see Abby in it. That's it?
That's the end.
Hey, well done. Another 3 episodes down.
Yeah.
We were saying before, we're getting through them now. At first, I was like, this is going to take ages. I feel like it's flying for me.
Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah.
I think the 3 episode was good because, otherwise we'd be...
I mean, we are up to an hour and 40 minutes, so...
Yeah, these episodes just keep getting long. I mean, more shit keeps happening.
This will shorten down by nearly 10 minutes, I reckon. We'll get it down to 1:30.
Yeah. See how we go. Keep blabbering on now.
That's good. It's good fun. I'm liking it. Certainly the first episode, like you said, I think a bit of a filler. Yeah. But these 2 are great. And I want to see David and Jack just working together, getting shit done. Yeah. I think I like the second episode better. Yeah, same. As much as I did like the little bit of action at the end of this one. But yeah, I think that second episode where David came in. Yeah, I know they need to put drama in and stuff. The whole Nina Terry thing doesn't interest me too much. Yeah, no, that's just boring. Yeah, but like, no one cares. No, episode 15 was definitely the winner for me. Yeah, cool. It's another week done. Good job. Ooh, bit delayed. Hopefully by next week both of our voices will be back. Couple of days. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not too bad. And you're on the beers next week. On the beers. Well, I was saying before, I nearly got one today. I went to a little like carnival thing at Westminster School. Oh yeah. And I think it was like a Mount Gambier. So they had all these like different stalls, and they had like I think it was Mount Gambier, some sort of brewing company. And I said to Laura, I'm gonna get a couple of those before we leave, for next week's potty, and completely forgot. Fucking hell. Yep. Where's the dedication? Walked out with the snag. That should have been the first thing. Sausage sizzle. Yeah. Forget the kids, forget the wife, beers. Had a donut. It's pretty good. Well, I went to Hart's Mill. What's that? It was like a market down at Port Adelaide. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Any good? Yeah. I mean, the kids got balloon animals. I had a busy day today. I went to the footy as well. Took Harrison to go see Crows versus North Melbourne. Walloped you. I let the little one watch footy for the first time. He loves his soccer. Yeah. And I was like, we did all right last week because obviously I go for North Melbourne. Not obvious. I go for North Melbourne. If anyone wants to know. Should know this. Yeah. When I live in Adelaide. And I was like, we flogged someone last week. I don't really watch it too much. And then, I think it was Melbourne. Yeah. And then anyway, I turned it off. What did we end up losing by? I think it was like 114 to fuck. I thought you were about to tell me 100 something. It was like 30 something points. Stupid. Yeah. We did. I mean, taking a 6-year-old to the footy, we left at half time. He'd had enough by then. Yeah, it's the first time he's been. Okay. Oh, it was nice, so good. Nice. Went and got an ice cream. Watched the rest when we got home. Oh, you managed to get home? Got home for the last bit. And like he loved it. Like he loved being there, and then he wanted to come home and watch the rest of it. He just got bored sitting in the uncomfortable seats at the stadium. I was like, it doesn't matter. Does he like all the loud noises and stuff? I wondered how he'd go with it. He was fine.
Yeah, that was like with the other little one. He's like, he sometimes doesn't like loud noises and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we've taken him to like Socceroos and stuff, and he loves it.
Yeah.
Like fireworks going off, everything. But then like if I flush the toilet at night, he's like, no! Freaks out. It's like, fuck it, hell.
Yeah, you're waking him up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You go to United, don't you? You go and watch Adelaide United a bit?
Yeah, we've gone to a couple of games. And then, we've also gone to a Socceroos game.
Yeah, I have to take the boys to... I reckon they'd like the soccer.
Yeah, it's good. I like the soccer better.
Yeah.
I feel the atmosphere because it's more condensed.
Oh, yeah.
And the fans just really get into it.
Yeah. It was pretty... I don't know what the attendance was, but it was packed stadium.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was not bad for a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, God, we caught the train there.
Oh.
And...
yeah, because you live right on the train line.
Yeah.
Oh, must be nice.
Yeah, it was easy. But my God, like that train was packed.
Yeah.
Like sardines. I reckon that threw them a bit.
Yeah.
Getting squished up against 5 blokes.
Yeah, you don't need that as a 6-year-old, do you?
All right. All done for this week. We will catch you in the next one for episodes 17, 18, 19. We're on the home stretch.
Oh, yeah.
So I think
what are we getting up to?
It'll work out that we'll do... it'll go 3-3, and then it will be the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then we'll have a little inter-season break and do something a bit random. Not sure
we'll
yet.
Have to do.
We'll have to figure that out.
Do a movie or something, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it last episode.
Cool. All right, until next week, thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
Ciao.